Riveting. You're going to join your two parts of your coat hangers using a rivet. You'll need a rivet dolly to do this, and a rivet dolly enables you to use the rounded surface you can see on the end to finish the rivets nicely and to hold the two parts together. A rivet is a small piece of steel shaped sometimes like these with countersunk heads, sometimes with round heads, but they're going to be used to join your two bits of material together. Right, so put your rivet with the countersunk on the underside through there, and then take your top piece and put it on one of the two holes. Make sure it's lined up reasonably straight. The rivet shouldn't stick out more than 3 or 4 millimeters at the absolute most. You then need a ball peen hammer. The ball peen hammer, if you remember, is the one that's got the rounded end on the end, and we're going to use that to upset this metal. Now, upset is a word that we use when we're dealing with metal, and it's a bit like you'd be upset if I hit you on the head with it. What we're going to do is we're going to hit the end of the metal, and the metal gradually mushrooms out. You have to be careful not to bend the rivet, and you do want the rivet to actually mushroom over and get bigger and bigger and bigger. You can't just whack it. You've got to give lots and lots of little taps to make the material upset. So you can see there the head is actually swollen and it now won't come apart at all. It's already joined together. You'll need to continue to knock that until you've got the majority of it covered. Here you can see I've upset the metal so it's almost down to the actual level. At this point I'm going to use a riveting dolly, and I'm going to use the round section of the riveting dolly. So I'm going to use this hole here on this side, and I'm going to put that hole over the top there, and I'm going to drive it down with my hammer to make a nice formed round circular head. 3 or 4 hits should be enough to transform that into a nice round top that's nice and smooth. If you're not happy with it, give it another couple of taps, but you don't need to really bash it hard. You can see there that's a nice rounded smooth head, and on the underside the rivet is actually quite flush with the surface so that when it put against the wall it won't come apart. That is now permanently connected. The only way you'd get that apart is by destroying the rivet. At this point you would then go and make sure it's running down the middle nicely. There is still a little bit of play and you can still move that slightly, but you would go and drill your other hole, you would countersink it and put your second rivet through, and then the product is joined together permanently and finished.